this very early in the Washington Commanders Stadium game, Maryland elected officials are putting some pressure on the National Football League's Commanders ownership in trying to keep the franchise in Landover, Maryland. Maryland's two senators, Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen, are not certain that they will support legislation that would give Washington, D.C. elected officials long-term control of the federal land that could house the stadium. D.C. or RFK Stadium sits on that property now, but that old structure will be demolished soon. Washington elected officials have expressed interest in building a stadium for Commanders ownership, as have some Virginia elected officials. Cardin said Maryland is seeking fair competition in the bid to host the Commanders in the future. We've had a great run for over 20 years and do not want to see the taxpayers used to alter the playing field. We think the best option is to remain in Landover. But whatever the future holds, there must be binding agreements as to the future of the current stadium property should the Commanders decide to move. Van Hollen wants to prevent actions that unfairly tilt the scales in favor of one location over another at the expense of federal taxpayers. Meanwhile, another senator has weighed in on the debate. Montana Senator Steve Daines said he will block the legislation until the NFL and the Commanders honor the former logo in some form. Dan seems fond of the team's old logo that was designed by a member of the Blackfeet Nation in the state of Montana. Some tribal members take pride in it and the legacy of the man who helped design it in the early 70s, Walter Blackie Wetzel, a former Blackfeet National Tribal Chairman and former president of the National Congress of the American Indian. The Commanders Stadium game has become more complicated. I'm Evan Weiner.